So just give a little basic, the basic aleph base here, and everything else stuff in fragen. So the first, the most mysterious halacha in the whole Hilchos Chol Moed is the first halacha. It's not understandable. It says Chol Moed osir b'ktsas malachas is osir on some malachas, but mutar b'miktsasam. That's mutar on some of them. That's the end of the halacha. So Shaz, what does that mean? That's in fact that's the whole simon Tov Kuf Lamed and the Mechaber. The Ramostik said Hagol fi tzarich ha'inyan shehayanir l'chachamim lahater. So Chol Moed means to say that really all the malachas should be yasser. Just they were matter, it was nimsul l'chachamim, and they were matter certain halachas that they were never to be matter. But in other words, what does it mean? Certain malachas are mutter and certain malachas are yasser. Chol has no real, has no understanding. Betsim.
No parameters to it.
What?
There's no parameters to it.
What's the parameter? What does it mean? So, you have to know if it's the rice or the rabbanon. So machlokes we showed him if it's the rice or it's the rabbanon. We won't go into that so much. Just happens machlokes with the mochas at the rice or it's the rabbanon. It's the rice and nimsul chachamim or it's the rabbanon. But we don't know what does it mean. So we know there's 5 heterim for malacha and Chol Moed. 5 basic heterim. The 5 are davar ovid, because it's a loss. If you don't do it now, you'll have a loss. Something which is tzorech hamoyed, something which is the first heter is davar ovid, something which is a loss. The second heter is tzorech hamoyed, something which is needed for a moyed, needed for Yom Tiv. That means like this. Something which is for food, for echel nefesh, even a ma'aseh uman is mutter. We'll see there's a difference between a ma'aseh uman, something which is craftsmanship, we'll see what that's called, and something which is just ma'aseh hedyet. So something which is for food, echel nefesh, just like malacha and Yom Tov, echel nefesh is mutter, for Chol Moed, echel nefesh is mutter. Something which is just for moed, you want to buy groceries can be echel nefesh. So moed, you want to go on a Chol Moed trip. I don't know if it's tzarchei moed, you want to have a good time in Chol Moed. So then some malachas hamutter ma'aseh hedyet. And then that's the second heter. Then a poil that doesn't have what to eat is allowed to do malacha. If you can't make enough money, you have to work on Chol Moed. Otherwise, you won't be able to pay your bills. Because today it means even if you can't pay his rent or whatever it is, he can't pay his bill if he doesn't work.
If you can't pay on time, does that make a difference?
No, then he could pay. Just he could pay, but if he can't pay, unless he has to borrow, it was a Scheiner if he has to borrow. But that's a poil, so he's allowed to do malacha. Tzorchei rabim, something which is a tzorech rabim, and a ma'aseh hedyet again for a tzorech moed, something which is a ma'aseh hedyet. You're allowed to do a tzorech moed, and we'll see each one. So again, the question is, what kind of malachas are we talking about? So does the Yisodistic Scheiner, or all lama test malachas are finished? Can't turn on the light on Chol Moed. It turns on for no reason. He wants to get some exercise. He turns on the light, turns it off. There's already issa to turn on the light on Chol Moed. If he needs the room, he needs the room to use, so that's tzorchei moed. So you could do a ma'aseh hedyet. It's tzorchei ma'aseh hedyet, turning on the light. The question is, let's say he doesn't need it. There's already issa to turn on the light, or only something which is a real malach of a tircha. Hashem said, malach of a tircha is down in the back here, and different machlokes we show them in them. If it's something which is a tircha, only that's aser. There's a few rayos here and there. The Reim says it's only malachas toirach. From Sadeshin is masha. It's only something which is a tircha. If it's not a tircha, it's not mutter. I think most of the olam is samech on that. They're not medactic on all the malachas, lamates malachas. If it's not a malacha of tircha, Pri Megadim is machmer. Pri Megadim holds that any malacha which is not of tircha is also aser unless it's a tzorech hamoyed. The Chazon Ish was makbid on that. Hard work. You have to work. Turning on the light doesn't take any work. It's something which takes.
Easy.
You have to swallow, but you have to work.
Carry bag.
Yeah, something which is all tircha. The Shas must go tircha.
It's called work.
No, it's not so clear. The halach says you're not allowed to rip out. That'll be toilish agav shushas from the ground. So those who hold this also without tircha, okay, they hold it's also. But those who hold this also with tircha, the malacha of cutting things from the ground is something which takes tircha. This might take your tircha. I'm just pulling out a blade of grass. This might not be tircha, but that could be called a malacha of tircha. If generally speaking, if you want, you must go apple picking. There's a big shiloh. Want to go apple picking on Chol Moed? So it's a big shiloh. If that's that's called a malacha of tircha. Picking apples is a malacha of tircha. So what's the heter? What's the heter do malachas at tzarech habayit for the outing? Or if you pick apples that are cooked, you make for an apple, your wife will be busy with all the bushels of apples that everyone picked.
We do it for fun, it's not tircha.
So it's called a malachas tircha. The child is called a tzarech habayit because you want to go for the outing of Chol Moed. Maybe that's a heter. It's for the outing. It's called malachas tircha. You hire a guy to sweat. You hire a guy to sweat and schwitz to pick all the apples off the tree. Something which is a malachas tircha. You're doing it, and you're only taking 2 apples, so maybe for you it's not such a tircha. That's called a malachas tircha. That's a shaila. It's a shaila. Could be that's called malachas tircha.
Driving a car is not a tircha.
Driving a car is also a big shaila. Are you allowed to drive a car in Chol Moed? Depends what kind of car, yeah. No, so the shaila is if you're driving to Shul, you're driving to buy groceries, you're driving somewhere, usually you're not, normally it's tzarech moed. It's only a ma'aseh hedjit. It's not considered a ma'aseh uman. Driving a car is not a ma'aseh uman, even though you need a license for it. But it's not called a ma'aseh uman.
If you have a choice,
what?
if you have a choice, 4 doors away, what do? Does it really matter or not?
Well, you're right.
It's a tzarech yamtiv, but I can walk.
You could walk,
So
but that's a tzarech yamtiv. That could be as a tzarech yamtiv. But if you're just driving around, those who are more machmer, but the Olam is not cool on that. If you drive around, driving for any tzarech yamtiv, but to drive around just,
to look at the leaves.
Driving lessons.
yeah.
What about driving lessons?
Driving lessons is a big shiloh because it's that's a shiloh that called tzarech moed. If you could do it afterwards,
You might
do
have
it
to
after.
pay extra to make up the lesson. Then
If you started before, it could be mutter. If you started before, but to start on Chol Moed, it's better to start after Chol Moed because they're good. Those who hold maybe it's not called the tircha, maybe it's not called the tircha. It's mutter. It's not very clear. These things are not very clear if that's called the tircha. The issue is havara. Havara be'etzim is not a tircha. Havara is electricity. We're not makbid. We do electricity. These things are not called the tircha. The Olam's not makbid. The samech on the shittas that without a tircha is mutter. But something which is a little more of a tircha, that's a malacha. It has to be l'tzarech hamoyed. Maybe it's a thrill. First time driving. Tzarech hamoyed is like an animal.
For somebody,
it's like you're driving go-karts,
The question is on the student or on the teacher. The two different halachas.
Yeah.
The teacher might lose out.
The teacher's Jewish.
The teacher is only if it's Goy could do it, but if it's
the teacher's
Jewish has to be ein mal yochel if he has what to eat, and that's just a problem. So driving a car, you'll bring down driving a car is taka shaila.
Putting a button back on putting a button back on a shirt.
See a b'chol moed. Kamam lochs min atur tikkun mon makapatish ein l'tzoya elo l'tzarech hamoed. Who's reporting here? Ber Moshe. So let's bring it down also. So akapanim, that's a shaila driving and these things. Anything which is a tircha, which is a tircha for a moed, could be a problem of malacha Chol Moed.
You can drive, but you can't change the oil.
Oh, so changing the way, doing these things. So if it's not a malacha suman, if it's l'tzarech hamoed, you need to. He brings down. You should fill up your gas before Chol Moed. I don't know. I don't see anyone being marked on that. But that's the shaila because it's very unclear. So we have to start from the beginning. All amates malachas arasa, but then no matter whatever's a tzarech hamoed, or according to these rishonim, that if it's not a tircha at all, it's mutter. But something which is a malachas tircha is only mutter if you need it for yamta, if you need it for Chol Moed, you need to do it. Then it would be mutter. But something which is not, so then that would be aser.
What about cleaning up your garage? Yeah, you got time?
So that's a good shaila. Doing something which is a lot of schwitzy work, which is not malacha. There's no issa malacha
really
on that.
Tircha.
Yeah, so there are those asur midrabanan. There's a issa do tircha, something which takes a lot of work. A lot of tircha, those are some midrabanan. It's not a deraisa, it's not a malacha, but midrabanan, it's not recommended to do something which has a lot of tircha. It's like a yomtiv. In Mechaber yomtiv, the Mishnah says, "Mavazes hamoedes, v'azein l'chel koyel ma'abam." Mavazes hamoedes, Rashi says it's chal hamoed. What? Rashi, it's chal hamoed. Mavazes hamoedes. Person has to dress properly for chal hamoed. That person has to Mechaber the moedes. It's a yomtiv, and it's just all the mamish prav chal hamoed. You have sudas. You have a suda, suda v'chal hamoed, and so doing a tircha, something which is a big tircha, because the occurs of the Mishmur says here, it's from the Lavush, I believe. A person should eat and drink, be mesamech Yom Tov v'yagein b'Torah, and instead they're going to be because I call them isek gol b'schoi Kavanas Hashem som nesin samay k'dei lidobek b'yirosei v'avosei v'lasik b'Torosei atamima. That's the cowboy. So that's the purpose of Chol Hamoed. So something which is a big tircha and a big shvitz. You have off. It's an off day, you might as well go rearrange your house. But avada, that's not the lechatchila thing. To leave it for a Sunday and to have Chol Hamoed. Yeah. So those are the basic rules. So again, the rules are 5. Over Ovid, if you're going to have a loss involved, if you're going to have a loss, so then you could do, even if it's a ma'aseh.
You don't know.
A suffix of Ovid, a suffix of Ovid. A suffix of Ovid is also mutter. If it's a suffix of Ovid, it's also mutter, even if you're not sure. But if it could be it's a loss, it's also mutter. And Charles, what's called a ma'aseh uman and what's called, we really have to stop. I don't want to go into the breakfast here. But what's called a ma'aseh uman and what's called a ma'aseh hedyet, that's a shaila. How you do that? It depends on your act. If it takes a skilled act, something which you have to train to do and riches adas to do, some say. Others say even things which are what?
Simple.
Even things which are simple, but if it's a ma'aseh uman, if it's done well, like a ma'aseh uman, if it shows the outcome, what comes out looks like a ma'aseh uman, or the action that you're doing to take it out. For example, sewing, a hedyet could sew, but a uman could only sew if he sews stitches that aren't even. So the outcome shouldn't be like a ma'aseh uman. So that would be by stitching, for example. So what? A person can't sew without making making it look like professional. Look at do right. So, if you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. But if you know how to do it, so if you could do if you're uman, so then you have to do a stitch, which is not. That would be a case of a ma'aseh uman. Fixing a car, the oil change. This could be. It's not a ma'aseh uman, but something which is more elaborate would be a ma'aseh uman. So that's also on Chol Hamoed, something which is. Even a ma'aseh hedyet is only mutter for tzarech hamoed. You need the car for Chol Hamoed. That's the tzarech hamoed. What?
You have a garage.
So the idea goy halacha is that ikra din, whatever you can't do yourself, you can't do through a guy. But kablanis is mutter. It's another shmuz. We're not going to go into it now. We started breakfast. The shares at 10:30.
What was the fourth one?
You
passed over the fourth one. What was the fourth rule? Rabbi?
It's okay, Rabbi.
So if it's for the community?
For the community, yeah, but that doesn't include shoes. It doesn't have to be a community. It can even be, let's say you have a building with a lot of people in it, so they need the hot water, you could fix it. Something which is for
right.
Around. Yeah, it's just giving.
So I can record a share for the community.